My confidence with my chipping 3 months ago was like -10, like a 0 out of 100. I was less than 0. Literally like maybe even nervous over chip shots. And it puts so much pressure on the other parts of my game to hit the ball good, and then that starts deteriorating. So my confidence with these things I'm gonna show you now went from -10 out of 100 to like 90 out of 100 with the correct tweaks. And that happens a lot. Like when you find the 1 or 2 things that really work well, it can change everything else about your game. So here's what I did. I like to set it up. I open the face a little bit and I set it up where it just basically sits on my right forearm. And I just feel like it stays there the whole time. My core and my belly button are turning back and through. And I don't even feel like I'm adding any vertical hinge. You can. I feel like it's just staying on that right forearm. I turn my stomach back and turn my stomach through. Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the hanger training aid. I absolutely love this. I firmly believe that this is good for every single golfer. This hanger here creates and controls what I think is the most important part of the swing, which is the wrist angle. It snaps right on. It takes me probably 30 seconds to put on. I can put it right in my golf bag, and best of all is you can hit balls with it. You can actually hit balls with it. So I love this hanger training aids. Look at when I do that well, how that sits on my forearm. Now watch when I cut my wrist, how that comes off. Immediate feedback for where my wrist angle's at. No one that can have too flat of a left wrist. One of the few things that all good ball strikers have, we're trying to have. Flat left wrist, right? Super easy to use, incredible immediate feedback with the coupon code GogornoGolf.com. You're gonna absolutely love it. We'll put all the details down in the description down below. All right guys, so if I'm being honest with you, I've been struggling with my chipping like literally all year, especially since we came down to Florida and there's Bermuda, it's more wet. I've had a hard time with it, right? My contact got so bad to the point where I actually filmed myself chipping not that long ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I want to show you in today's video what I discovered and what I've been doing to improve my chipping. And I see this a lot when I watch other golfers and other golfers we work with. So hopefully this will help you with your solidness of contact. My confidence with my chipping 3 months ago was like -10, like a 0 out of 100. I was less than 0. Literally like maybe even nervous over chip shots. And it puts so much pressure on the other parts of my game to hit the ball good, and then that starts deteriorating. So my confidence with these things I'm gonna show you now went from -10 out of 100 to like 90 out of 100 with the correct tweaks. And that happens a lot. Like when you find the 1 or 2 things that really work well, it can change everything else about your game. So here's what I did. Now I filmed myself chipping, which I film my swing a ton. I film myself chipping twice in my life maybe, right? I've like never needed to, don't tell anybody that. But I filmed it, and here's what I saw. I saw me chipping with a lot of wrist motion, especially a lot of back and more back wrist motion. Here's sort of what I discovered. When you're chipping, it's okay to have some up and down wrist hinge. What you do not want to have, and what I had an unbelievable amount of, is back and forth wrist hinge. Up and down's fine. Back and forth is bad. Here's why. If I hold this here, and I've been practicing this with a hanger. You don't need the hanger, but I'm just going to show you how I used it. When I go up and down with my wrists, notice what happens. What does and what does not happen. What does happen when I go up and down is just the club head goes up and down, right? It adds height to the club, and then it lowers the club, raises and lowers. But it does not change my shaft angle. Does not change my shaft angle. So vertical hinge just goes up and down. Now, when I'm chipping, do I need some up and down? Yes, I do. But the back and forth wrist motion, right? Watch what that does. What does that change? Now, it also raises and lowers the club a little bit, but what does it mainly change is it changes this shaft angle so much. So what I was doing is I would hinge my right wrist back, let my left wrist like this, and I would even like hinge it more in transition. So when I got down to impact, I'm really trying to lean my handle forward. And you might know how it goes too, like, heck, when the contact's bad, you keep going like this. I kept putting the ball back, hands forward, ball back, hands forward. And I'm like nervous over a chip shot, right? Which is ridiculous. So the fix and why I use the hanger, and you don't have to use this, but give you the visual. What I feel here when I set up, notice I have this hanger just inside my right arm here. I feel like I keep it on my wrist the whole time. Now, and I'll see when this video goes out what this looks like. To me, that feels like Jason Day. It feels like I'm using no wrist motion, or maybe Steve Stricker. It feels like no arm and wrist motion and all body. And probably when I hit these balls, it'll look normal because I have to feel that exaggerated. But you might have a visual, and sort of when I take this off, I visualize like this grip goes like up towards my stomach forever, and I just keep it dead in the middle. Now my normal was like this. I'd go here and like a lot of wrist motion. I feel like there's no body, all arms and hands. That led to really bad results. Can some players get away with a lot of hands and no body? Some, not me. I wouldn't recommend it. So when I do this and I take the wrist motion out of it, it feels like all body motion. I mean, I feel like compared to my other shots, there's so much core rotation. Like for me to hit that shot and use the bounce and take no divot there, if we would have filmed this 3 months ago, we wouldn't have filmed the video. I would have literally been too scared to film a chipping video. That's how bad it was. And this is how much this has fixed that. And so hopefully some of you who maybe literally weren't enjoying the game, like I wasn't enjoying even playing because my chipping was so bad. But the sensation, the discovery for me is take the wrist out of it and use my body. Like both of those I clipped about as good as I could possibly clip them. I'm just bruising the ground. I'd go play with my friends and my chip shots look like this. I would leave like that. The ball would go 2 feet, right? Miserable. So way less leading edge, way more bounce. Now, if you have a hanger, I like to set it up. I open the face a little bit and I set it up where it just basically sits on my right forearm. And I just feel like it stays there the whole time. My core and my belly button are turning back and through. And I don't even feel like I'm adding any vertical hinge. You can. I feel like it's just staying on that right forearm. I turn my stomach back and turn my stomach through. And so that feels way, way, way different. I'm clipping all those very nice compared to normal. And now, I mean, I was just telling Mary, I've actually been practicing my short game for the first time in a long time. And so hopefully some of this helps you. What I would encourage you to do, again, if you don't have this, is visualize like there's an object there and you're just, the butt of the club stays pointed between your forearms. If I do my wrists a lot, notice the butt of the club points way over to the left. Keep the butt of the club pointed more towards me. Take the wrist motion out and add more body motion. So that's the discovery that I had. That's been really helping me. I'm going to clip one more. I was a little bit short. Hopefully that'll help you as well. Yeah, and there's a good one. So more body, less arms and hands. If you have one of these, hook it on, try it. If not, try and get that same visual. Hopefully that'll help you with your chipping.